Terrence Bud Crawford strategically ducked all the top guys right in front of my face, and I didn't even realize it. The projection was crazy. Let's talk.
Straighter, not roundhouse right hand.
And that's what we've been talking about. The straight shot is the one where he gets leverage on it.
I don't want to kill
Pull
somebody
back
for
a little bit.
seconds.
Nah, I want a body on my record.
Now, I want to see you fight motherfuckers. I do. All right, I'm with you. I'm with you. As long as you're trying to fight the great, the best competition.
Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Yo, it's the best, fight the best. If you ain't with the moto, just click the link, bitch, and get buried like the rest. It ain't gonna work how you want it. These trolls already tried, too many come but don't leave. So if you hear, you gotta die. I'm spitting straight facts. These bitches crying cause they hate that. The LDBC's the top topic, bitch, hate that. We the ones that bring the truth to these fans. So while you hate, I'ma laugh and keep counting these bands. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link, get the dance. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you.
Welcome to the graveyard.
I am on record going at Errol Spence. I said the man strategically ducked. Wasn't a fear thing. It wasn't anything. His strategy was to clean up his side of the street and then fight Terrence Crawford. That was his strategy. Or Jeff Horn, whoever had the belt over there. That was his strategy. And I went at that man and I said, yeah, you're fighting the guys on your side of the street, but they don't want to fight you. There's a guy over there that wants to fight you. So fight that guy. And I went at him for years saying that that's a strategic duck. You strategically duck that man. Strategically duck, strategically duck, strategically duck. But what I didn't see, which was right under my nose, it was right under my eyes. It was right there. I didn't even see it. Is that the entire time that I was projecting that was my belief, and I projected that on Errol Spence. It was Terrence Crawford that was strategically ducking all along. And it didn't start at 147. It didn't start there. But it was there. It started at 135. He didn't unify with nobody, and he could have. No one. We're all sitting here wondering, why didn't you unify? They're making these excuses talking about, oh, well, he grew out of the weight class. But he grew out of 142, but he still stayed there for undisputed. The man's on record saying he can make that weight. He never unified at all. Never tried to become undisputed at 135. At 140, he didn't fight Danny Garcia. They blamed Danny Garcia for that. They didn't fight Lamont Peterson. They didn't fight Amir Khan at 140. They didn't fight any of those guys at 140. He didn't even fight Edward Troyanowski. He didn't fight Adrian Broner. He didn't fight none of those guys. Oh, come on, man. Those guys were leaving the division. So, I remember Floyd Mayweather saying, I'll fight Costazu, Shane Mosley. I remember him saying all that. Terrence Crawford didn't say none of that. He didn't say any of that. He didn't fight Regis Poirier, who was ranked number 6. He fought number 9 Felix Diaz. These are facts. Whatever, man. Didn't fight Orozco. I mean, I went down this road already. But I'm just saying that the strategy has always been there. But it was highlighted at 147. It was highlighted. Nobody wanted to fight Terrence Crawford, man. They was all scared of Terrence Crawford, man. They was running from Terrence Crawford. They was ducking Terrence Crawford. Freddie Roach said it. Who gives a fuck what Freddie Roach says? What did Manny Pacquiao say? Manny Pacquiao said, no, why would I fight Jeff Horn and no Terrence Crawford? I fight the guys that he put in front of me. I never turn no one down. No. Why they no put Terence Crawford in front of me? Yeah, well, Bob Arum told the world why he didn't put Terence Crawford in front of Manny Pacquiao. Terence Crawford is a sucker for southpaws, and he's kind of chinny. So if Manny, who's a good puncher, is to hit Terence Crawford, and knows what would happen. My matchmakers just don't. Okay, well, that's why they didn't put him in there. That's the reason why they didn't make that fight. They could have made the fight. All the stars had aligned. Terence Crawford could have been Manny Pacquiao's mandatory. He could have been Pacquiao's mandatory, and Pacquiao could have been his mandatory. They were both on the same side of the street. Bob Arum controls Top Rank. They're both on the same side of the street. It's whatever Bob orders. But all of a sudden, Manny Pacquiao had a choice. It wasn't Terence Crawford's fault. It was Bob Arum's. I mean, it was Manny Pacquiao's fault. Manny Pacquiao was scared. Manny Pacquiao, who's on the same side of the street, was ducking. Manny Pacquiao didn't want no smoke. Yeah, all right. Yeah, sure. So no Brian, Bomac, McIntyre, Cameron, Duncan, none of those guys. Where was Bernie at? These guys is quote unquote no boxing. Where were these guys at? Where were these guys that saying, hey man, you're the WBO champion. Move up and become Pacquiao's mandatory. Where was any of those guys at? People just run with the narrative that Pacquiao was ducking and Pacquiao was running and Pacquiao was hiding. Pacquiao was the champion. Pacquiao is Manny Pacquiao. That's Manny Pacquiao. If any fighter gets an opportunity to fight Manny Pacquiao, they are taking it. That is Manny Pacquiao, bro. You're going to get paid. And if you beat the man, you're going to be tied in a legacy fight forever. Anybody is taking it. Someone tell me why Terence Crawford didn't take it. Oh, come on, man. Manny Pacquiao was running. Manny Pacquiao didn't want to fight. Who gives a fuck what Manny Pacquiao wanted? Why didn't Terence Crawford put himself in a position to fight this man? Become his mandatory. Force him to duck you. Force him to vacate the belt so you can fight for the vacant title. Force that. Why didn't you? You could have. Why didn't you? Because I wasn't my own boss. Oh, bird. But then you run around here telling motherfuckers that this Manny Pacquiao's ducking you. How is Manny Pacquiao ducking you if you're not your own boss? And you can't make your own decisions? How is Pacquiao ducking you? How did Pacquiao duck Terence Crawford if Terence Crawford was not his own boss? Why couldn't Andre Ward tell him, hey man, go to 147, bro. Become his mandatory. Move on up. Why couldn't Brian Bomac McIntyre say, hey, listen, you go to 147, you get the fucking contract. If you go to 47, you. Why didn't Brian McIntyre tell him to go to 147 to become Manny Pacquiao's mandatory? He told me it was easy going to. We went the WBO route because the WBO route was the easy route. The WBO route, okay, well you could have went the WBO route when Manny Pacquiao was a champion. It was just as easy to go the WBO route when Manny Pacquiao was the champion as it was when Jeff Horn was a champion. Why'd you wait? You tied your name to Pacquiao, and then you strategically ducked that man. Oh man, Terence Crawford ducked on Manny Pacquiao. Well, even when you was at 147, when Manny Pacquiao signed the contract, asked Bomac. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao, he signed the fucking contract. Now, Manny did sign the fucking contract, but I had Bud hold up. But Manny signed it. Now, Manny did sign the fucking contract. So Manny signed the contract, but Bud didn't. You had Bud hold up. Do your fucking homework. You got to do fucking homework. So you had Bud hold up, but Manny signed it. You strategically ducked that man. You tied your name to Pacquiao and didn't fight him. Your strategy was to tie your name to Pacquiao and then avoid him. And then keep pushing this narrative that Pacquiao don't want to fight you. When he signed. Pacquiao signed. But yet people are still saying that Pacquiao ducked Crawford when Pacquiao signed the contract. Motherfuckers run here all the time. Sign the contract, big boy, sign the contract. Well, the person who signs the contract wants to fight. The person that refusing to sign the contract doesn't want to fight. There's an issue with something. They're refusing something. Terrence Crawford refused to sign a contract. He knew the money. He knew he was making 10 million, and he knew Pacquiao was making 40. But he signed it but Pacquiao signed it. He refused to sign. The man asked for 10. He knew what he was getting. He got his 10 and still didn't sign. Because the money didn't come fast enough, BF. The money didn't come fast enough. But then I asked y'all, well, what about the hedge funds? What about the hedge funds? The Saudis don't want smoke with Manny Pacquiao. The Saudis don't want Manny Pacquiao to fight over there. Is that what you're telling me? So the Saudis don't want that? He could have fought in Saudi Arabia, but the Saudi Arabians don't, for some strange reason, don't want Manny Pacquiao over there, but they was trying to get Manny Pacquiao and Amir Khan, but they don't want Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford? Really? He strategically ducked Manny Pacquiao. Strategically ducked him. And this order that I'm giving you is the order that it happened. The next fighter was Danny Garcia. He strategically ducked Danny Garcia. Oh man, Danny ran out of 140. He ran out of 140. He ran on him, man. He left 140, went to 147. He ran from Bud. He ran from Bud. Okay, so why didn't you fight him at 147? Oh man, we sent him a contract. And we sent him a contract. He wouldn't negotiate. That's a lie. That's a lie. You sent Danny Garcia a contract. You sent a top PBC fighter. Danny Garcia is a top PBC fighter, a top one. You sent Danny Garcia a contract. You never sent Errol Spence a contract, but you sent Danny Garcia, a top PBC fighter, a contract. And Danny Garcia said, bro, I made $3 million to fight Rod Salka. Show me the pound for pound money and let's get it popping. I don't remember anybody saying, oh, Al Heyman wouldn't let that. It's Al. Al wouldn't let it. Al holding it up. Al stopped it. I don't remember this conversation when it came to Danny Garcia. Al wouldn't do it. Al wouldn't do it. Al. What y'all said to me is, oh man, he can't send no contracts to the top guys, to the tippity top guys. He can't send he sent one to Danny Garcia. They sent Danny Garcia a $3 million contract. That's what Bob Arum said. Oh, we sent them a contract for $3 million. Well, $3 million is not. $3 million's a lot of money to people that don't have it. Well, Danny does have it. That's why Danny said, bro, I made $3 million to fight Rod Salka. If Amir Khan made 7, I beat Amir Khan. I beat Amir Khan. Before he beat Amir Khan, I beat Amir Khan. When Amir Khan was more in his prime and was a champion, I beat Amir Khan. What the fuck? What are we talking about? That's when I stopped Amir Khan. So how you only give me $3 million when I made that to fight a fucking bum? Bro, you're supposed to be Terrence Crawford. Why can't you send fucking $5 million for me? Why can't I get 5? Why can't I get what Amir Khan got? I beat Amir Khan. Their response was, Danny refused to negotiate. No, he didn't refuse to negotiate. You guys refused to budge off of $3 million. You refused to budge. You used Danny Garcia's name, and then you went on to fight somebody else. And then you said, Danny's ducking, Danny don't want to fight you, blah, blah, blah. You used the man's name. Your strategy was to use Pacquiao's name and fight somebody else. Then you use Danny Garcia's name and fight somebody else. And then the next guy that you ducked was Sean Porter. Oh, no, BF, he fought Sean Porter. He knocked Sean Porter out. He tripping, bro. He stopped Sean Porter. He knocked him out. He destroyed Sean Porter. Sean Porter was the WBC champion. Moreover, he was your friend, still is your friend. You mean to tell me you couldn't get a unification with your friend? You couldn't get that? You couldn't talk to Sean Porter and say, hey, Sean, listen, bro, I don't know what they got going on over there with Al Heyman and PBC. I don't know what they got going on there. But listen, bro, I need this. And if you're my friend, then you'll fight me, bro, if you're my friend. Now, we ain't got to try to kill each other, whatever the case may be, but let's get paid together, man. Let's get this money. You're WBC champion. I'm the WBO champion, bro. Let's get this money, bro. Let's get paid. And let Sean Porter work it from his angle. The unification. You didn't even do that. They asked you about Sean Porter. Well, you know, Sean, my friend, I really got no desires to fight Sean. That ain't gonna be no Bob. That ain't gonna be no Al. It's gonna be... yeah, but this is the same guy to say, the reason why I didn't fight these guys is because I wasn't my own boss. Bob was your boss. But then you're on record saying, if me and Sean fight, it ain't gonna be no Bob. Well, who was the boss then? So if Bob told you to fight Sean Porter, you wasn't gonna do him? You wasn't gonna fight Sean Porter? If Bob told you because you wasn't your own boss, that he was your boss? If it's not gonna be no Al and it ain't gonna be no Bob. But then when Bob Arum says, there are plenty of fighters for him to fight, he can fight Sean Porter. He doesn't want to fight Sean Porter. It sounds like you was your own boss to me. If Bob said there's plenty of fighters for you to fight and you don't want to fight Sean Porter, it sounds like you turned Sean Porter down to me. But you could have fought Sean Porter when Sean Porter was a champion. You could have unified the WBC and WBO straps. The exact same two that you had at 140 before you became undisputed with Indongo. The same two straps. You could have did that. You chose not to. You chose not to. However, you called Sean Porter out when you got to the division. Sitting here waiting to unify Keith Thurman, Earl Spence, Sean Porter. Let's unify. Sitting here waiting to unify. So you call the man out, and then you say you have no desire to fight him. You tied your name to a unification, and then you had no desire to fight the man. You tied your name to a unification too. You strategically ducked that man. The only reason why you fought Sean Porter because you was forced to because it became your mandatory. That's why. Be careful what you wish for. That's what you said. But I thought you wanted to become undisputed. I thought you wanted that fight. But now it's be careful what you wish for. And I know Bud fans listening to this right now are going to stop right here. Yeah, but you stopped them. Yeah, Sean Porter wished for it, and you stopped them. You're missing the whole point. This was for undisputed unification at the time. WBO and WBC unification that he turned down after calling the man out and then said, be careful what you wish for. Your strategy was to tie your name to Sean Porter and not fight him. But he fought him, though, BF. He fought him, though. You tripping, BF. He fought him, BF. He fought him. The next person he strategically ducked was Errol Spence. Yeah, that was the next person, bro. That was the next person. Because you do all this calling for Errol, you want all this smoke with Errol, I'm calling for Errol, I'm calling for Errol. Errol's telling you, listen, bro, I'm cleaning up my side of the street. And when I finish, I'm going to go over there and get whoever got that strap. When I finish. You run out on his campaign saying he's ducking and, oh, man, he's sides of the street. The side of the street was created for me, and I can't believe all this. Ain't no sides of the street, and yada, 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 all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. You want smoke with Errol Spence. Errol Spence says we can do 60-40. When we fight, we can do 60-40. And at that point, you immediately switched up, oh, man, it's 50-50 or nothing. See, that just tells me right there he don't want to fight. Oh, here they go. Here they go with that 60-40 stuff. Here they go with that 60-40. That tells me right there they don't want to fight. But you did 60-40 with Indongo for undisputed, which people refuse to talk about. That was a 60-40 split for Terrence Crawford. It was not 50-50. They refused to talk about this. But, oh, here they go. Here they go with this 60%. That means they don't care. They don't believe in themselves. They looking for the... But you were on record saying, it's not about the money. I just want to prove I'm the best. Until Errol Spence said, we can do 60-40. If that's the case, if you really wanted to fight Errol Spence, then what you should have said is when already you told the world, man, these guys want money. It's not about the money to me. I just want to prove the world I'm the best. When you put that out there, and then when Errol Spence put a number out there, you should have said, send it now. You've already told the world it ain't about the money. Then when Errol Spence says, when we fight, we can do 60-40, that's your time to say, fuck when we fight. Send it now. Let's do it now. Right now, let's do it. Oh, by the way, you sent Danny Garcia a contract. Yeah, you sent him a contract. You said you were the A side to Errol Spence, so you could have sent Errol Spence a contract right then. right then. And even when the man said 50-50 or no fight, why didn't he send a 50-50 contract then? Why didn't Terrence Crawford send one? Oh, come on, man. Terrence Crawford, he was the B-side. That's not what he said. And said he's the money man. Numbers don't lie. He's the money man. He's the A-side to every. That's what he said in that infamous video that y'all only pull out one part when Errol said he's going the easy road. Yeah, that infamous video, that one little part you pull out. Terrence Crawford said he's the money man. He's the A-side to all these guys. He's the money man. So if numbers don't lie and he's the money man, then why didn't he send a 50-50 contract? If it's 50-50 or no fight, why didn't he send one? I'll tell you why. Because he did not want to fight that man. He wanted to tie his name to him, tie my name to him, and then fight somebody else, and that's exactly what he did. He tied his name to Pacquiao and fought somebody else. He tied his name to Danny Garcia and fought somebody else. He tied his name to Sean Porter and fought somebody else. He tied his name to Errol Spence and fought somebody else. The next person that he strategically ducked, the next one, was Keith Thurman. This is the accurate order. Now, I understand people are going to say, nah, BF, he ducked Keith Thurman first because he was calling for Keith Thurman. He's calling for Keith Thurman was a WBA super champion. So Terrence Crawford moving up to go to WBA route, he would have had to be the WBA regular champion. And then he would have had to petition to unify the WBA and the super and the regular belt. And he could have did that. He could have did that. All right, he could have did that. But I don't put that at that moment on it. I put him on him at this particular moment. Because at this particular moment, Keith Thurman was running around here talking about he was ready. Send me a contract. I'll sign on IG Live. Send me a contract. Send me a contract. Oh, man, Keith Thurman asked for $10 million, man. That's crazy. Who gives a fuck what he asked for? Who cares? Man, if you ask for $10 million, that just shows you really don't want to fight. Well, Terrence Crawford asked Errol Spence for $20 million. That was different, right? Them was jokes. Oh, come on, man. Them was jokes, man. It was jokes, man. Them was jokes. But y'all were telling me over and over again that Keith Thurman really don't want to fight because he asked for $10 million. You can ask for whatever the fuck you want. Y'all are the same goofy motherfuckers out here right now talking about, Terrence Crawford, he a shrewd businessman, man. He a shrewd businessman. He got what he wanted, man. He got what he wanted. He a shrewd businessman. But when Keith Thurman asked for it, Keith Thurman was priced himself out. But y'all are running around here telling me how shrewd of a businessman. How shrewd, man. He's so shrewd. He's a great businessman. He's so shrewd. He's a tough bitch. He's so shrewd. You're running around telling me this because the man asked for $20 million from Errol Spence. Guaranteed. Whatever he's getting right now is a 50-50 split from what I'm being told. He's getting 50-50. But when Keith Thurman asked for $10 million, all of a sudden he's priced himself out. And y'all just immediately moved on. No trying to negotiate, nothing. Even Keith Thurman came back and said, bro, listen, bro, I'm not asking this all out. I'm not saying, it's 10 million or nothing. Bro, but you shoot for the stars, you land on the moon. Send me a respectable number, bro. Bob Arum knows what I'm worth, bro. Bob knows what it is. Send me a number. Send me a respectable number. It don't got to be 10 million, bro. Send me a respectable number. I'll sign it. I'll sign it live. Let's get it popping. This nigga's response was, well, Keith Thurman lying. If we send you a contract, you probably won't even sign it. He lying. Instead of sending a contract to prove him. Instead of sending something to prove it. Send a term sheet. Here are the terms. You get $4.5 million. Here you go. You got $4.5 million. You get $4.5 million and an 80-20 split of the pay-per-view. 70-30 split of the pay-per-view. There you go. I'm the champion. You're not a champion. You have a 70-30 split of our pay-per-view, and here's $4.5 million guaranteed. Let's go. You didn't say anything. You just said, if we send you something, you probably won't even take it. You used that man's name for years. Who's the top guy up there? Thurman. I thought Errol Spence went up there. Well, yeah, why you say that? It's the eye test. The eye test can lie to you. Keith Thurman, it's Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, the man. Listen, it's Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, he the man. Keith Thurman. You strategically used that man's name. And when the man told you to send him a contract, if we send you one, you probably won't even sign it. Yet you guys run around here over and over and over again telling me that you can't send, Al Heyman ain't going to allow you to send no contracts to their top guys, but you sent one to Danny Garcia. You sent one to Danny. Danny is one of Al Heyman's top guys. Facts. You sent one to him. You did not send one to Errol Spence. Dare I say, Danny was a bigger name or a bigger connection to Al Heyman than Errol Spence. Danny was doing it when he was at 140. Errol's in his first weight class. Now, maybe not at this particular moment. Well, shit, definitely not at this particular moment. But back then, bro, Danny was up there, bro. He might have been bigger than Errol Spence. This was his second division, two weight class champion. There's an argument to say that Danny was a bigger name than Errol Spence. It's a very good argument. But you sent one to Danny Garcia, but you didn't send one to Errol Spence. You sent one to Danny Garcia, but you didn't send one to Keith Thurman. You sent one to Danny Garcia, but you didn't send one to Sean Porter. Danny and Sean Porter fought. So why didn't you send Sean Porter a contract? Oh, man, you can't send one to the top guys. The top guys, Al not letting his top guys, but you sent one to Danny. That's why y'all say Danny ducked him because he sent him he turned the contract down, blah, 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 blah. And the last person he strategically ducked was your Dennis Ugas. That was the last one. Your Dennis Ugas was the last person he strategically ducked. Because when your Dennis Ugas, even before he beat Manny Pacquiao, when your Dennis Ugas became a WBA champion, Dennis Ugas was willing to fight Terrence Crawford. He was willing to fight him, bro. It was y'all motherfuckers telling me, man, he not the real champion. Pacquiao the real champion. Ugas ain't the real champion. It's Pacquiao. Well, okay. All right. Well, at that time, if you would have beat Ugas, who embarrassed you and called you out, bro, just posted, I beat you in the amateurs 27-10, and I'll beat you again. Bob Arum came out and said, there are plenty of fighters that Terrence Crawford can fight. There's this is Ugas he can fight. Terrence Crawford doesn't want to fight him. So, and then when Ugas goes to fight Errol Spence, you got Bo Mac talking about, man, Ugas a killer, man. I don't be surprised Ugas beat him. I'm just saying. Y'all know y'all boxing, right? Y'all know y'all boxing, right? All right, okay, well, don't be surprised. I'm sitting here like, man, what the So why didn't you fight Ugas? You could have fought Ugas. He was there. He was available for you. You could have fought Ugas at this time, became a WBA regular champion, and at this time, you really could have, Manny Pacquiao would have went after you because he wasn't with Top Rank. Yeah, he would have got more in the bag. That unification with Manny Pacquiao, that could have been you retiring Manny Pacquiao. I understand. He could have did that with Keith Thurman previously, but it would have been better to do it with Pacquiao. This was the second time around that you could have did it. You could have paused. You could have unified with Pacquiao. Yeah, you didn't. Again, all you had to do was beat Ugas. That's all you had to do. You strategically ducked this man. You strategically ducked everybody. You used all these guys' names. All these guys' names were attached to you, and you fought green beans. You fought Amir Chin Khan, Jose Benavidez. These are the guys you fought, bro. A broken and battered Kell Brook. But after claiming that he was healed. Kell Brook was healed, but he wasn't healed when he fought Errol Spence. Bunkers, bro. Fucking bunkers. The same doctors that stopped Errol Spence from fighting Manny Pacquiao because he had a torn retina are the same doctors that said Kell Brook was good. Doctors. Maybe not the exact, Dr. BFTB said the same thing about both. No, but they run through the same protocols. They run through the same protocols. The same ones. The exact same ones. It's okay, well, okay, can you do this? Let me test you out. Okay, let me test this. Let me do your MRIs. Let me do these bones. Let me do these scans and make sure, okay, you're good. You're how do you feel? Now it's a how do you feel thing. If your bones are healed and blah, blah, blah. But mysteriously, Kell Brook's bones weren't healed when he fought Errol Spence. He was wheeled in in an ambulance. He was wheeled in he was on crutches and a wheelchair at the same time. They had an IV. They had to disconnect the IV from him when he got in the ring with Errol Spence. But with Terrence Crawford, he had drank from the fountain of youth. He was good to go. No injuries that never happened his whole life. fucking insane to me, bro. And then you fight Sean Porter after you didn't unify. You could have. Insane, bro. And then you motherfuckers come back and talk, well, he beat Kell Brook and Sean Porter, but he could have beat Sean Porter with a belt. With a belt. And the Kell Brook thing, you shouldn't be glorifying it. You should be saying, yeah, we beat him. I mean, we were supposed to. He was damaged goods. No, you say this man was the good. He was great, man, Kell Brook. Oh, but BFTB, you picked Kell Brook to beat Terrence Crawford. Yeah, I did, because Terrence Crawford was not. He's a sucker for straights. He gets hit with them over and over and over again. Kell Brook is very good with straights and was hitting him over and over and over again. And when he got greedy, Terrence Crawford capitalized. I said the same thing over and over and over again. Kell Brook got greedy, Crawford capitalized. Congratulations to Crawford for capitalizing on Brook's greed. If Brook didn't get greedy, he was pummeling that man. That man's eye was all swollen. He was hitting with the same punch over and over and over again, the same punch. So if he didn't get greedy and been consistent with the same punch that he was landing on, who the fuck knows what had happened? He was up on the scorecards. So who knows what would have happened if he didn't get greedy? If he didn't stick to it, if he would have stick to his fundamentals and his consistency, who knows what would have happened? That's why I got Errol Spence, because he will stick to his fundamentals and his consistency. If it's working, he's going to keep doing it. And that's why Terrence Crawford and his team strategically ducked that man. And everybody else. BFTB. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And I'm out.